Have you ever pondered how one of the most influential civilizations in human history sprouted from the desert sands of northeastern Africa? Today, we dive into the captivating history of ancient Egypt. Let's rewind to the times before the majestic pyramids graced the Giza Plateau, to a period known as the pre-dynastic era. This era, dating from around 5,000 years ago, saw the emergence of the earliest Egyptian societies along the fertile banks of the River Nile. Imagine a time when the desert was a bustling hub of human activity, with communities thriving along the river's edge, their lives intertwined with the ebb and flow of the Nile. These early societies were not just surviving, they were innovating. They developed agricultural practices that harnessed the Nile's annual flood cycles, turning arid land into lush fields of wheat and barley. This abundance of food allowed the population to grow, and with growth came the need for organization. Thus the first rudimentary forms of governance were born. But life wasn't all work and no play. Trade networks began to form, with goods and ideas flowing along the Nile. Pottery, tools, and jewelry were exchanged, weaving a tapestry of interconnected communities. As these networks grew, so too did the need for a common language. Enter the hieroglyphs, a system of writing that would become as iconic as the pyramids themselves. These pictorial symbols allowed for the recording of history, the formulation of laws, and the expression of thought and emotion. The creation of hieroglyphs marked a significant leap in human communication, forever changing the way societies interacted. And so, amidst the shifting sands and the flowing Nile, the foundation of what would become one of the most awe-inspiring civilizations of the world was laid. These early societies, with their innovative agriculture, burgeoning trade networks, and pioneering communication systems, set the scene for the remarkable era that was to follow. And thus, the seeds of one of the world's most fascinating civilizations were sown, setting the stage for the era of the pharaohs. The dawn of the first dynasties marked the beginning of the pharaonic era. This period, known as the early dynastic period, was an extraordinary time in the history of ancient Egypt. It was a time when the foundations of the civilization we now know as ancient Egypt were established. The crowning achievement of this era was the unification of Upper and Lower Egypt under King Nama, a ruler of great strength and vision. This legendary king, often depicted wearing the crowns of both regions, brought together two previously warring factions, creating a unified kingdom that would last for millennia. His reign marked the beginning of the first dynasty and set the stage for the pharaonic era. With the unification, Egypt thrived. It was during this period that the pharaonic administration was established. The pharaohs, seen as gods on earth, held absolute power. Their duty was to maintain harmony between the people and the gods. The pharaoh's authority was symbolized by the double crown of Upper and Lower Egypt, a visual reminder of the kingdom's unity. Religion was deeply woven into the fabric of ancient Egyptian society. The pharaohs played a crucial role in religious rituals and ceremonies, acting as intermediaries between the gods and the people. Temples were built as homes for the gods, and the pharaohs were their divine caretakers. Pharaohs also oversaw the construction of grand monuments and tombs, many of which still stand today. These structures were not just marks of their power and wealth, but also their devotion to the gods. They believed that by honoring the gods in such a manner, they ensured the prosperity and continuity of their kingdom. This era saw the establishment of traditions, religious practices, and administrative structures that would shape ancient Egypt for centuries to come. It was a time of growth, development, and consolidation of power. Every subsequent pharaoh built upon the foundations laid during this era, reinforcing the divine status of their position and the unity of the kingdom. With the unification, the power and influence of the pharaohs began to grow, paving the way for the golden age of ancient Egypt. The era of the pharaohs had begun, setting the stage for the remarkable civilization that was to come. Welcome to the Old Kingdom, the age of pyramid builders. This era, spanning from the 27th to the 22nd centuries BCE, marks a time of architectural marvel and spiritual significance. The Old Kingdom is often referred to as the Age of the Pyramids due to the construction of these monumental structures. The pyramids, grand tombs for the pharaohs, were a testament to the Egyptians' advanced understanding of mathematics, engineering, and astronomy. The most famous among them is the Great Pyramid of Giza, built during the reign of Pharaoh Khufu. This colossal structure, standing at a staggering 481 feet, was the tallest man-made structure in the world for over 3,800 years. The precision of its construction is so remarkable that even with modern technology, we struggle to replicate it. Pharaoh Khufu, also known as Cheops, reigned during the 4th dynasty. His reign is marked by monumental building projects, the most significant being the Great Pyramid. Khufu's rule was characterized by centralized power, which allowed for the mobilization of resources and labor necessary for such large-scale projects. The pyramids were not just grand tombs, but significant religious structures. They symbolized the pharaoh's journey to the afterlife, aligning with the celestial bodies to assist the pharaoh's soul in its ascension to join the gods. This belief in the divine status of the pharaoh and the journey to the afterlife underpinned the construction of these architectural wonders. The pyramids also represented the socio-economic structure of the Old Kingdom. The ability to mobilize the labor force required for the construction of these colossal structures demonstrated the absolute power of the pharaoh and the hierarchical structure of society. The grandeur of the pyramids, their precise alignment with celestial bodies, and their religious significance make them a marvel of ancient engineering. They are a testament to the ingenuity, vision, and spiritual beliefs of ancient Egypt. Today, thousands of years later, these pyramids still captivate us, standing as a testament to the grandeur and mystery of a civilization long past. The grandeur of the pyramids still captivates us today, a testament to the ingenuity and vision of ancient Egypt. But even the mightiest of civilizations face periods of turmoil. As we delve into the annals of ancient Egyptian history, we encounter two significant epochs, known as the First and Second Intermediate periods. These were times riddled with political instability and power struggles, casting long, uncertain shadows over the Nile's fertile banks. During the First Intermediate period, a significant shift occurred. The pharaoh's iron grip on Egypt began to falter, and provincial governors, once loyal to the throne, started to wrest power. The country, once united under a single ruler, fragmented into smaller principalities, each asserting its sovereignty. The pyramid's grandeur faded into the desert's horizon, and the pharaoh's divine status was questioned, shaking the very foundations of ancient Egyptian society. Yet, in the midst of this chaos, Egypt was not entirely paralyzed. The upheaval sparked a surge in artistic expression and philosophical introspection. There was a shift from the grandiose royal commissions of the Old Kingdom towards more intimate portrayals of daily life and the common man. It was a time of great cultural evolution, proving that even in times of turbulence, the human spirit finds a way to flourish. The Second Intermediate period was marked by an even greater crisis. The Hyksos, a foreign people from the east, invaded Egypt. They seized control of the Nile Delta, establishing a stronghold in the city of Avaris. The Hyksos introduced new technologies, such as the horse-drawn chariot and composite bow, which forever changed Egypt's military tactics and trade. Their rule, although seen as a time of foreign oppression, also brought about a period of significant cultural exchange. These periods of turmoil, despite their initial appearance, were not just about decay and decline. They were catalysts for change, pushing ancient Egypt to adapt, evolve, and ultimately emerge stronger. They reshaped the political landscape, influenced cultural practices, and set the stage for the new kingdom, Egypt's age of empire. However, these periods of chaos were not merely times of decline, but also catalysts for change. From the ashes of turmoil, a new era of power emerged. This was the dawn of the new kingdom, an epoch that spanned from the 16th to the 11th century BC, and it was a time of splendor and might for ancient Egypt. The new kingdom saw the rise of some of Egypt's most powerful and intriguing pharaohs. Hatshepsut, a woman who wore the double crown, left an indelible mark on Egypt's history. Her reign, marked by peace and prosperity, was a testament to her diplomatic prowess and economic acumen. She commissioned grand architectural projects, including her mortuary temple at Deir el-Bahari, a testament to her ambition and vision. Then we see the reign of Akhenaten, a pharaoh who dared to challenge the traditional religious beliefs of his people. Akhenaten abolished the worship of multiple deities in favor of a single god, Aten, the sun disk. His revolutionary religious reform, however, didn't last long past his reign, but his influence is felt even today. In the wake of Akhenaten, the young king Tutankhamun ascended the throne. Despite his brief reign and untimely death, King Tut is one of the most well-known pharaohs due to the discovery of his nearly intact tomb in the Valley of the Kings by Howard Carter in the early 20th century. Last, but certainly not least, we have Ramesses II, a pharaoh whose reign was so long and impactful that he's often referred to as Ramesses the Great. His reign, marked by extensive building projects and military campaigns, was one of the longest in ancient Egypt, lasting an impressive 66 years. The new kingdom was not just about powerful pharaohs. It was also a time of territorial expansion and significant cultural developments. Egypt's empire stretched from Syria in the north to Nubia in the south, its influence undeniable and far-reaching. The arts thrived, literature flourished, and architectural feats like the temples of Karnak and Luxor were constructed. The new kingdom is often considered the pinnacle of Egyptian power and cultural achievement, an era of power, prosperity, and impressive pharaohs. It stands as a testament to the enduring legacy of ancient Egypt. As it often happens in history, the apex of power is followed by a decline. The third intermediate period of ancient Egypt, a time spanning from the 11th to the 7th centuries BCE, marked the beginning of this decline. The once unified land fragmented into smaller city-states, each governed by its own ruler. The centralized power of the pharaohs dwindled, and the kingdom was divided, leading to a period of instability and chaos. This was a time of great change, both politically and culturally. The pharaohs no longer held the absolute power they once did. Instead, they found themselves embroiled in a power struggle with the high priests of Amun, who had grown increasingly powerful and influential. As if internal strife wasn't enough, the late period brought with it a wave of foreign invasions. First, the Persians under Cambyses II in the 6th century BCE swept through Egypt, toppling the weakened pharaohs and establishing their own rule. The Persian dominion, albeit interrupted by brief periods of Egyptian revival, lasted for over a century. But the invasions didn't stop there. The Greeks, led by the legendary conqueror Alexander the Great, overthrew the Persians and took control of Egypt in the 4th century BCE. The Hellenistic Ptolemaic dynasty was established, marking the end of native Egyptian rule. The last of the Ptolemies, Cleopatra VII, tried to restore Egypt's former glory. However, her entanglements with Rome, both political and personal, led to her downfall. After her death in the 1st century BCE, Egypt became a province of the Roman Empire, marking the definitive end of the pharaonic era. Despite the fall of the pharaohs, Egypt never truly lost its unique identity. Its culture, wisdom, and monumental architecture left an indelible mark on the invaders, influencing their civilizations in profound ways. Despite its decline, the influence of ancient Egypt continues to reverberate through the corridors of history. The echoes of ancient Egypt still resonate in our world today. This ancient civilization, born from the fertile banks of the Nile, has left an indelible mark on the canvas of history, stretching from the pre-dynastic period to the late period and beyond. Let's take a moment to reflect on the key events and figures we've journeyed through. The dawn of civilization in Egypt, marked by the emergence of hieroglyphs and the construction of the first monumental buildings. The early dynastic period, where the concept of a united Egypt under a divine pharaoh took root. The Old Kingdom, an era of prosperity and grandeur, marked by the construction of the Great Pyramids of Giza. The periods of turmoil and intermittent stability, where pharaohs rose and fell, and foreign invaders left their mark. The New Kingdom, a time of unprecedented power and expansion, where figures like Ramesses the Great and Queen Cleopatra reigned. But what is the enduring legacy of ancient Egypt? In many ways, the impact of this civilization can be felt in every corner of our modern world, especially in the fields of art, science, religion, and governance. In art, the ancient Egyptians developed a distinctive style that has been widely emulated and admired. They were master architects and sculptors, and their techniques and aesthetics have greatly influenced Western art and architecture. From the colossal pyramids and Sphinx of Giza to the intricate tomb paintings and sarcophagi, their artistic prowess was unparalleled. In science, the ancient Egyptians were pioneers. They were expert astronomers, using their knowledge to develop a calendar that was remarkably accurate. They were also skilled mathematicians and engineers. Their understanding of geometry is evident in the precise construction of their pyramids and temples. These scientific achievements laid a foundation for future civilizations to build upon. In terms of religion, the ancient Egyptians' belief in an afterlife and their elaborate funerary practices have fascinated scholars for centuries. Their pantheon of gods and goddesses, and the mythologies surrounding them, have influenced many subsequent religions and spiritual beliefs. And finally, in governance, the pharaohs of ancient Egypt established one of the earliest known forms of centralized government. This system of administration, where a single ruler held supreme power, has been a model for many subsequent empires and states. The influence of ancient Egypt is not confined to the past. It continues to shape our present, from the way we build our cities, to the way we understand the cosmos, to the way we govern our societies. It has left an indelible imprint on our collective consciousness, a testament to the ingenuity and resilience of the human spirit. From the sands of the Nile to the heart of modern civilization, the legacy of ancient Egypt remains indelibly etched in the annals of human history. Its echoes resonate in our world today, reminding us of a time when humanity first dared to reach for the stars.